Look at that, guys. That's pretty disgusting. That's not what your coolant is supposed to look like. It got like little particles too. What's going on, guys? What's going on? What's up, guys? We're working on the F30 today. On the reveal video, I got tons of engagement there in the comment section. A lot of it was positive and a good amount of it was negative, so we'll address some of those things today. So the purpose of today's video is to find out everything that's wrong with this F30 335i. I essentially got this car for a very good deal. It is a high mileage and I considered it being clapped. I know a lot of you guys did not like that. You let me know in the comment section that this is just a regular high mileage F30 335. I disagree with that, but I get it. Everybody has different standards. Today we'll go around the car and find out what's wrong with it, what needs to be addressed, and why I consider it a clapper. One of the funniest and most bizarre things that I was reading in the comment section to that review video for the F30 is that a lot of you guys were so sure that this wasn't a real M Sport F30, which I found it laughable because I didn't just blindly go buy the car without like VIN check and everything. It's a real M Sport. It doesn't just have M Sport front bumper, rear bumper, and trims, and a steering wheel. Let me show you guys. One of you guys swore it wasn't a real M Sport because it had a wood trim interior. Guys, you can option that out from factory. The non-M Sport doesn't have the bottom silver trim here on the bottom as well. And for those of you guys that talked about their steering wheel, M Sport right there. And then the door sill, M Sport right there. Another very common comment that I've received on that video was that this wasn't a true M Sport because it doesn't have the paddle shifters and it doesn't have the sporty transmission. It's not something that comes standard with the M performance package. Just so you guys know, it is an additional option and I believe it's like $400 to $500. I looked it up last night. So just because I don't have the paddle shifters and the transmission does not mean that I don't have a true M Sport. That is additional. And there's actually quite a few F30s that I found out that had the M Sport package from some of my viewers that also did not have the paddle shifters. Not an issue because I can always get XHP, tune the transmission, and there you go, it's sporty. And then I can retrofit the paddle shifters, of course. I know a lot of you guys are going to say that I don't have to do this. I don't have to prove anybody since I already know the truth. But I feel like just, you know, educating some of you guys. So VIN number, we look at the last 7 digits, DF475679. So I went ahead and pulled up the VIN here on BMW Decoder, F475679. We have the production date 9/12, 335 F33 series and 55 motor. So if I scroll down just a bit where it says additions and packages, you can see M aerodynamics package, M sports package, M sports suspension, M leather steering wheel. Just so you guys know, a lot of you guys have thought you were 100% right that this was like a retrofitted M Sport package on this F30. You guys were wrong. It's right here. Look at that. We have fine wood trim, burr walnut, sport seats, heads-up display, Harman Kardon surround system, adaptive headlights, range sensor, xenon lights, light package, automatic transmission. As you guys can see, I don't have the sport transmission. High gloss shadow line, headlining, black headliner, guys. We'll walk around the car. Some other things that I noticed after filming that video. Shadow line trim looks like somebody got locked out at one point and they try to pry it open so they can pry like a hanger in there, but it's pretty beat up here. It's beat up here. And if you got another shadow line trim, yo, hit me up. Instagram @VehicleVirals. I need one of these. Oh yeah, it's been pried. Yep. Guys, we gotta pry it. Say it with me. Clapper. Another thing that we noticed, me and Ali noticed it together. First of all, this hood is extremely hard.
Yeah, it's unusual.
You guys are gonna probably kill me for this one because it's one of the first things you might want to look at when you're looking at a used car, especially a high mileage clapper.
Not my fault.
It's right here. Well, this guy was actually occupied in the phone, but I decided to look at this like 2 days ago, and my heart stopped when I first saw it.
It's blue right now, but it did have a layer of oil on top.
So originally, when I first opened it up, it was legit brown on top, like milkshake color, and my heart completely stopped because the first thing you think about is like head gasket, right? But the car wasn't smoking, and the first thing that I did is I put like a stick inside, moved it around, and it was only the top layer, so there's only a small amount that got into it. It relates to a common issue with the N55 that Ali's taught me in the past, and that's
cheers.
The oil filter housing gasket. So you got the gasket that will separate the coolant from the oil, and if you got a bad gasket, it'll mix in and you get that thin layer. So that's one of the things that you want to address. Hopefully it's that and it's not like the oil cooler. I've heard that the oil cooler can cause that as well, but we'll take the easy way out first and see how that works. We'll do that today. We'll do the coolant flush to clean out the system. We'll do an oil change because last time I checked the oil level, it was like halfway. I don't even know last time this car was serviced, to be honest.
That's normal, bro.
It's normal to have halfway oil on these cars?
Totally.
Totally not for me, though. Normal for people that shouldn't be owning BMWs, baby.
True definition of a normal BMW.
No. Say it with me. Clapper.
Clapped.
So in the first video,
Are you protecting the, what's it called?
the clap.
The clap? Yeah.
So, in the first video, I was talking to you guys about how hard it was to open and close the trunk. It's gotten better over the last few days. It's a little bit loud, but not as loud. But check this out. Wow.
Did you put oil on it?
I didn't, not yet, but I'm about to.
540?
I think that the car. I think it's good though. It's much better than before. A lot of you guys were taking a guess in the comment section that it was rear-ended for sure because you guys saw that the paint in the rear bumper was so good. I don't think so. I think it just needed a little bit of use. And I've been using this a lot lately. You know, I'm not too worried about this inner tail light because we're gonna update it anyways, but today we'll probably take this apart and see if we can get it to fit in there.
So it'll fly out?
Yeah, good thing is though, it still works. It still does work. You guys win. I was asking you guys if you wanted to see a full detail video on this car. I didn't think you guys would be interested, but a lot of you guys were interested. So we'll do a full detail video, exterior, interior, all that good stuff.
Did you show them this clap portion?
No, not in the first video. We found this dent right here.
There's a dent, but you can't see on video.
No, it's white. Remember, white covers most imperfections.
If I do this,
You can kind of see it. So the thing with this car is that in person, you can see a lot more imperfections than what you guys can see on video. A lot of you guys are saying like, this car looks clean, it looks brand new. Not really.
it looks clean when it's raining.
It looks clean when it's raining, and it looks good from about 5 feet away, right? But once you get closer and you get to start examining it, it's not that clean. So when I bought the car, I didn't really look at it like that. I just saw that the tires were pretty decent. It has 235 all the way around. Normally BMWs, they'll come with their little sticker that tells you what size tire you're supposed to have. So it's 225 up front, 255 in the rear. So this car has equipped the wrong size tires up front and in the back. 235 front and 235 back, which creates this weird looking stretch. So you got stretch rears, baby. Versus the front that pokes out a little bit more.
It's for the drifts.
Also, it lost air completely. I had a flat today, so I had to put some air in it. It holds air for about 2 days, then it goes flat. We'll put the car in the lift today. We're gonna look underneath for the first time, and I'm actually kind of nervous. We don't know what it looks like down there. We don't know what needs work. We don't know if it's like leaking like a lot. And then we'll find out what's the issue with this tire. Hopefully it's not a cracked rim, because that's the last thing I want to do is deal with that situation. So
We'll put those on.
our 888s.
Yeah, we'll put those on right there. No, right there.
Yeah, how you gonna get four lug wheels on here?
Weld it.
Okay.
Clapped.
You want to know what's more clapped? I was driving to the shop today with the car and it started raining. I couldn't see a damn thing. Watch this.
Oh, nice. Those are brand new.
Clapped.
Clapped. Clapped. Clapped.
Clapped.
Clapped. Clapped. Clapped.
It looks nice and stock down here.
This car has been through hell and back, and it's still in hell. Just covered in oil everywhere. The strut is blown.
Well, we felt it. Remember, we were driving back to the shop and we kind of heard something. Time for coilovers, baby.
The fucking
Which is a perfect time.
thrust arm is fucked.
Yeah, the bushings look shit.
Needs a turbo. It's pissing oil.
So you know why it doesn't really bother me? Because I was planning to upgrade the turbo. I was planning to upgrade the suspension. Look at that, guys. We have gold right here. It wouldn't be a BMW. It's not pissing oil.
Looks like they did coolant lines. This line. They did the thermostat water pump line.
This is why one time I made a video talking about why most people, like 99% of people, should not own BMWs because they don't maintain the car. This is a perfect example of a car that's been neglected and not taken care of. And of course, I'm going to be addressing all those issues, which is fine because I get to educate you guys and make some content off of it. The E90, the 335 that I bought was probably even more clapped than this car, and it had almost the same issues. It was leaking oil everywhere. Turbos were blown. The suspension was clapped as well, and we revived it. Now it's like obviously like the hero of my YouTube channel. So that ended up working out okay. The transformation on this car is gonna be equally as good, if not better, because I'm probably gonna go even more all out than I did with the E90 since it might be a giveaway car. Forgot to mention to you guys, we do have a metal charge pipe. I know in the reveal video I said the only aftermarket component was the intake. Now it does have a metal charge pipe, which I highly recommend on these N54 and N55 motors. They tend to blow, especially when you tune them. So make sure and cop your metal charge pipe at vehiclehours.com. I'll leave links down in the description below. Definitely one of the most important upgrades. Whether you have a tuned car, not a tuned car, the charge pipe, the plastic one that it comes with, will fail. I mean, it doesn't look terrible down here. The oil leaks we kind of expected. This is what happens though. People come to performance shops to get their car tuned and get, aftermarket performance mods. They see this leak and they're like, it'll be alright.
Whatever's going on with all this oil needs to get cleaned off. Needs an intercooler because this one sucks ass.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do the upgrade on cooling.
And needs the the outlet pipe. Exhaust is ashy. Needs an exhaust.
Yeah, for sure. I'm thinking of doing like an expensive exhaust and a cheap exhaust, maybe all in one video, to give you guys a perspective on two different budgets and what they sound like, if it's worth to buy an expensive exhaust versus a cheaper one. That's the idea I have with this car. If that's something you guys want to see, let me know in the comments. Dude, look at this bottom.
Look at this. Hey. What is this? Who painted this?
Hold on. What the?
That's dirt.
All right. Wow, that was a little bit too loose. There was no force done to that. I'm just curious to see if there's gonna be like BMW's pixie dust in there.
Maybe.
Oh god, this is black oil, bro. Actually, not as bad as I thought it would be.
But there's definitely some.
A little bit of sparkly spark.
Yeah, can't tell.
Can't tell. It's not much of it, but it looks like a little bit.
Look at this duct tape here on the valve cover.
I mean, there's a little bit, and it's not like overwhelming a lot of it. We're gonna do the rod bearings on this car anyways. I'm gonna have the guys at PSI do it because it's a high mileage N55. The last thing that I need is to spin a rod bearing on this car. So we took the oil filter apart just to see if we can see any metal shavings, any pixie dust.
Nothing.
Seems pretty good. That, like I said, whatever was in the oil there on the top, it wasn't much. It could be anything, to be honest. So without like a real oil analysis, we won't really know what that was. But the filter looks pretty clean. I don't see anything in here.
Put it back in there.
Put what back in there?
This filter.
Sure.
Just toss it in there.
It's a cloud car, right? So it would just work. There you go. You might as well not even put engine oil in the car neither. Just drain it and run it like this. So essentially, we're gonna go ahead and dump all the coolant out from the water pump side.
Easiest access.
The easiest access. Giggity. I mentioned in the reveal video that the diverter valve on the N55, or the combination with the intake, sounded like it had a HKS blow-off valve, and somebody said that's because it does have a blow-off valve.
Let me know where it is.
The charge pipe, I don't see a blow-off valve. Outlet pipe, I don't see a blow-off valve.
So let me know where it is in the comments below.
Oh, that was loose. Very loose. It's like tight at all. That's probably why it's not tight, because it's stripped.
Yeah, this feels fresh.
It's like a new gasket.
Yeah.
Hold on, which one is the one that fails and then it mixes? It's the inside one, right?
Well, this one can too, technically. Oil passes through here, coolant passes through here, and you can see there's milkshake in there.
Put your finger in there real quick. Yeah, that's pretty disgusting. Look. Caca. Caca. By the way, this is the first time on the channel that I've replaced the oil filter housing gasket with the actual engine inside of the car. Normally with the E90, E93 that I used to own, we did the engine out service here with the guys at PSI, and we ended up just swapping it out, doing all the maintenance while the engine was out. This is the first time where the engine is still in and we're doing it. Intake manifold has to come off to get that inner gasket. Unfortunately, we have to look at that one as well. We'll just fast forward to the part where we remove this and we get to see what the gasket looks like.
New gasket too.
Fresh gaskets?
Fresh gasket means A, they didn't clean it, B, they didn't clean it, or C, they didn't clean it.
So it doesn't really look like they totally neglected the maintenance on the car. The gaskets on the oil filter housing are looking fresh, and then the Mickey Mouse hose here looks like they replaced it as well. So sometimes when you're working on these cars, you think that you know what's going on and what's the issue, and then you kind of look at stuff like this and get stumped. It's almost like a trial and error process for BMWs, well, any car in general. They might have done the gaskets recently and just had some oil still in the system that ended up floating to the top in the coolant reservoir. Who knows? We'll find out. Hopefully it's not the oil cooler. If not, we'll address that as well. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and put everything back together, add new coolant, new oil, drive it for a few days, see what happens, look back in the coolant reservoir, and we can just go from there. So we discovered something as we were reinstalling the oil filter housing. Do you guys remember this part of the video earlier? Oh, that was loose. Very loose. It's like tight at all.
That's probably why it's not tight, because it's stripped.
Ladies and gentlemen, we found out why there was oil in the expansion tank. The oil filter housing was stripped. Someone improperly tightened it, which didn't allow us to fully tighten everything up, which explains why the seal wasn't tight. Huge thanks to Precision Sport Industries, they had a spare one in the shop and essentially clutched it. Make sure to check them out if you need any work done on your BMW.
Look at that, guys. That's pretty disgusting. That's not what your coolant is supposed to look like. They got like little particles too. This is why I always tell you guys, maintenance first. You shouldn't be tuning your car and adding performance mods if you haven't taken care of your maintenance. Like, this is a disgrace to whoever owned the car before I did.
And the dealer that I bought the car from, they said they go through a thorough inspection. That shouldn't pass inspection, just saying. Nice blow off valve. Coolant's taken care of. Got engine oil into the car. Now we're just waiting for it to warm up so we can measure the oil with the iDrive system and make sure we don't have to top it off anymore. And I think that's gonna be it for maintenance today.
Look at that dyno. Look at that power. Engine oil clapped. Wow.
So engine oil level's good. Cleaned up the engine bay a little bit so it looks a little bit less clapped. Kind of presentable now. Now time to take the car for a drive, make sure everything's good. First drive after doing the oil change, the coolant flush, and fixing the oil filter. Housing gaskets. And it feels like a N55. I think most importantly is that there's a peace of mind that something that can, you know, be a big problem is addressed. So that's one less thing to worry about. The next big thing to tackle to give me an even bigger peace of mind so I can tune the car and get some power out of the N55 is the rod bearings, and then address the suspension stuff, and of course address the turbo. So make sure to subscribe for this series. It's going to be a very good one for the F30. Like before you leave the video, it really does help with the channel. And as always, thanks for watching. Until next time.